How's it going, guys? My name is Brad Kajus of Lead Juice Home Care Growth, and this video is on how to handle home care intake call the right way. So I've been in the marketing side of this business for 5 years now, and I can clearly tell you guys that a lead is not valuable if your team does not know how to handle the first call. In home care, the intake call is one of the most important parts of the business because the family is usually stressed, emotional, and they're trying to make a decision fast. So when they're calling you, they're ready to make the decision. So you know, the first impression, that first call counts. And a lot of agencies I've seen lose good leads because they answer the phone like they're taking an order at McDonald's. Like, no, it's not taking an order. You got to guide the family like a professional. You guys are professionals, and don't go straight into the price. Don't sound rush. Don't say call us back if you're interested. I've heard it all because I listen to, with my clients, we track all the calls, and I'm listening to these intake calls, and I'm like, yeah, we got it. And that's why it's really important for you to track your calls and track your business, right? So you can understand where, where's the leakage in my business, right? So we're gonna get into that in this video. And yeah, so why does the first call matter? Marketing creates the opportunity, but the intake call converts the opportunity. Most agencies work hard to get leads, but their weak intake call lose families before the consultation ever gets booked. So you guys spend money on websites, beautiful websites, SEO, advertising, referrals. You took your time, you got the referral list that we provide you guys. You got the referral list, or you made your own referral list. You called, you went on lunch with the elder law attorney, or whatever you did. You spent money and time, right? For the phone to ring. But when you get on the phone and the call feels rushed, it feels cold, it feels unorganized, that lead can disappear. And the intake call is where the lead becomes a real opportunity or it gets wasted. So, yeah, like I said, don't treat the intake like a basic phone answering, treat it like a conversation point. All right. So, the family is already stressed. Like I said, they're not just looking for information. They're ready to book. They're ready to book a consultation. They're ready to see if you're the right fit. Most families are dealing with a fall, a hospital discharge, memory issues, caregiver burnout, or a parent who is not safe alone at home. So they may ask simple questions, but emotionally they're looking for that relief and that direction. So they're speaking to you silently, like they're trying to see if you can answer their questions without asking. You know, so if you're only trying to sell, they can feel that. So before you sell, you got to stabilize the caller. When a daughter calls because her mom failed last week, she's not shopping for a rate. She's trying to figure out who she can trust. Remember that. Okay. And the next slide is, like I said, what the caller really wants. They can ask you some questions, but what do they want? They want to know, do you understand the situation? Can I trust you with my loved one? Do you know what care may be needed? And what happens next? If you're on a call and you're just going straight into pricing, you're not answering these questions, I'm 9 times out of 10, or probably 9 times out of 10, he or she is looking for the next agency. Okay. The call is about safety, it's about trust, it's about direction. Listen for the fear behind the question. When they ask how much do you charge, they may be really asking, can I trust you with my mom? And are you going to make my life easier? You got to listen to the tone, like, how much do you charge? They're not asking how much do you charge. And we'll get into it in the next slides. A weak intake call. Information without trust is not enough, right? So this is the weak version. Here is our hourly rate. Here are our services. Call us back if you're interested. Those are weak. That's a weak intake call. If you go straight into the hourly rate in your service list, it's weak. It gives information, you're giving information, right? But it does not build confidence. And also ending the call with, call us back if you're interested. That lets the lead drift away. All right. So never make the stressed family carry the whole next step by themselves. You got to lead the next step. Okay. What does a strong intake call look like? A strong intake call feels calm, organized, professional. You make them feel heard. You find a real problem. You explain the right care fit. You answer those scary questions and you move the family along to the next step. People do not want to be pushed, they want to be guided in this industry. I work with also home service. I think probably mentioned I also work with home service in the past. I kind of focus more on home care now, but when you call pest control, you're not really caring if they are nice on the phone because you just want them to come in your house. Maybe you care. You just want them to come in your house and get rid of the roaches, or you got plumbing issues. You don't really care about if the person is nice, right? It's like, hey, okay, what's the price? All right, come over. Here's the address. But in this industry, you got to be able to guide them. You don't just go straight into the price. Like I said, you're not taking an order. You're building the trust through the phone call. So you got to take the phone. Don't rush the call. Be calm. Be organized. Be professional. The goal is not pressure. The goal is leadership because you're the leader in the call. You're the professional. You know what the family needs. Step one, calm the caller down. The first few seconds matter. Start with empathy before information. Okay. Say things like, I understand. That sounds stressful. Let me ask you a few questions so I understand what kind of help your mom needs. Do not match their stress with rushed energy. Use a calm phrase that shows that you understand and then take control of the questions. Before you explain anything, make them feel like they're not alone in the situation. All right. Step two, find a real problem. Do not quote before you understand the problem. You don't understand the problem. Why are you quoting? You know, who needs care? Is it your mom, your dad? Is it your spouse? Is it your cousin? I don't know. Who needs the care? What happened recently? Do they live alone? What help do they need each day? Any fall risk, dementia, or hospital discharge, right? When do you need care to start? These are questions that you ask so you can understand the problem. Those questions help you to qualify the lead so that you can recommend the next step as the leader, as the guider, right? So if you quote too early, you become a price. If you understand first, you become a guide. Okay. Step three, handle price the right way. Our rate is $28 an hour. Do not avoid price. You got to create the context before price. That's weak. Our rate is $28 an hour. The better version is I can definitely explain pricing, but before I give you a number, I want to understand the schedule and level of care so I can give you the right information. Don't avoid the price. You frame the price. You're not hiding the rate. You're making sure the family understands what they're actually paying for. Step four, translate the service. We have great caregivers. Everybody says that. Try to stop saying that, guys. you know, we have great caregivers. That's not a way that you can connect with the family. All right. Based on what you told me is the better version. Based on what you told me, the main concerns is your mom being alone during the day and needing help moving safely. So the care I probably would focus on is companionship, meals, light tasks, and safe movement around the home. Don't just list your services, connect the services to their problem. Specific beats generic. Step five, answer those silent fears that I mentioned, right? Families may not ask every question, but they're thinking about it. Families may be thinking, can I trust the caregiver? What if they don't show up? Can they drive my mom? What does light housekeeping mean? How does billing work? Can we change the schedule later? Answer fear before they turn into objections. So if they have any objections, try to see if you can answer those throughout the intake call. When you bring up the concerns first, like these concerns, you got to understand what are people usually asking for in your area. You bring them up, you sound like the expert. Step six, book the next step. Don't say call us back if you're interested. It's weak. The better version is based on what you shared, the next step would be a care consultation so we can review her needs and build the right care plan. I have Tuesday morning or Wednesday afternoon, which works better for you. Whatever time is better for you. So you don't just say call us back if you're interested. You know, give them options so that you can go out and you can meet up with them. Intake call cheat sheet. Okay. If intake calls feel inconsistent, use a simple cheat sheet so your team knows what to ask, what to say, and how to move the family to the next step. Questions to ask, common family concerns, price handling language, trust building phrases, and next step wording. Intake call is where a lead becomes either a real opportunity or quietly disappears. So don't just rely on your memory. Give the team a simple framework. If you guys need a cheat sheet, an intake cheat sheet, let me know in the comments. I can share that with you guys so you guys can have something similar so you can see what I give some of my clients, for taking cheat sheets, for taking intake calls. And, and yeah, you got to calm them down, ask better questions, create context around price, explain the care fit, answer those silent fears, guide them to the next step. Okay. In home care, the family's not just buying care hours. They're deciding if your agency is safe enough to trust someone that they love. So that's going to conclude this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.